October 1987, the local churches felt there should be a festival in autumn 1988 on the anniversary of the completion of the London and Birmingham railway line through Wolverton, 150 years previously, which was the beginning of development in Wolverton as we now know it. They held a meeting of town organisations. The meeting agreed to hold a festival and to call it Wolverton 150.
That was really nice to see as many people down the station to see it arrive. We really thought when we went down there wouldn't be many people, but the atmosphere down there was very good and the station all decorated up.
We stood upon the bridge. We did try to get down onto the platform, but
waiting at the top of the station, there were crowds of people, and a lot of them outside were quite disappointed it wasn't a steam train. They really thought it was going to be.
Coming into Wolverton Station, great. Everybody was excited on the train, you know, we'd had a good morning. And coming in, all the guides and I think there were scouts all lined up along the station was tremendous. They were all on the station, weren't they?
When the train stopped, I thought there was a really good atmosphere outside. All the people were crowding round, just watching us, and I was surprised how many people there were.
And the train actually arrived, and seeing all the mayors and everybody coming out and everybody dressed up Victorian was really super. And we came out and, you know, lords and ladies of honour we were, so we went up the steps to the top. It was nice, a guard of honour, and everybody was excited, everybody was pleased to see us, and we had a tremendous day. Wearing the dresses and things like that made you feel a bit different, yes. How they had to cope with wearing uncomfortable clothes, or long clothes, yes.
On the way back from Euston, as the train approached the stations where they were picking up the local dignitaries, I had the impression that they were greatly relieved that this event was really taking place. And I did wonder what they would have done had it been on the 1st of April. It was a wonderful experience for everybody who was able to take part and to watch the event.
When Lady Martin came up the steps to unveil the plaque, somebody wanted a ticket to go to Northampton and she had to stand aside to let them buy that. And then she made a very good speech. She'd evidently learnt all about the history that had led up to the event, and she made her speech and drew back the curtain, unveiled the plaque to the cheers of a very large crowd that was waiting there. And I think everyone agreed it really was a very good start to the festival.
the annual show of the North Bucks and British Rail Chrysanthemum Daily Society coincided with the first day of Wolverton 150-year celebration. So we decided on a schedule which was suitable for the occasion. The theme was called Wolverton Station 1838 to Wolverton MK12 1988. And some of the classes represented by the flowers. One class was called the Crown Jewels, and that was to commemorate the visit of Queen Victoria in 1843, and also our present Queen, in 1966. The day was fine and the show was a great success. Lots and lots of people came in, whereas in the ordinary way, not many people do turn up. That was a special day.
The break came about because we had heard of Wolverton's 150th birthday, and we decided that as it coincided with the Red Cross being 125 years old, that we would go ahead and combine the two events and have a big celebration on that day. We decided also that it would be a good idea to commemorate both events by planting a time capsule in the grounds of the centre. So we've gathered items together to try and show to people in hopefully 100 years' time how we lived life today. We contacted local traders, anybody at all that was possibly interested or involved, and asked them if they could contribute. And they did, with everything from items such as calculators and answer phones, which are examples of modern technology, right down to a knife, fork and spoon, and those horrible things called fags that we want to give up. We thought we'd warn future generations not to use them.
There was a hectic rush to set up the stalls and get everything there, and a period of waiting for it to open and wondering what the day would be. Quite quickly, the tempo rose, and it was a wonderful experience to see so many people coming in, walking round and enjoying themselves. And it was a wonderful opportunity to meet with people, speak with people, those that were friends of long standing and those who perhaps I might never even see again.
When we were first approached with asking if we would like a stall, yes, we decided we ought to take part, as we'd been a club for the last 20 odd years, and we wanted to do it within keeping to the Victorian times, and after a lot of discussion we decided to do it like a market barrow type thing. And we used to take, for the weeks before, we made flowers and things to decorate it up, and everybody decided they would either make a cake or make some things to go on it. And at the end of the day we had loads of stuff, much more, and everybody joined in much more than what we thought. And on the actual day everybody dressed up and we all thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a miserable day, but the atmosphere in there and the things going on all during the day, it was super. We all agreed that that's something we would like to do every year, because it got all the people in the club working together and all the different organisations in the area all joining up, and everybody was as pleased for everybody else how well their stalls went. And it made, I think, to have something like that, people coming from other places and Wolverton having something that all the organisations can join up together. We'd all like to see it done every year. We all said that we'd like to do something like that again next year and have a theme running through it each time.
impressed by the effort everybody made and all the wonderful stalls that were up there, and the way people had made an effort to wear the costumes of the period. And I also thought the rapid rollers fitted in very well with their part of it, and the jugglers, they entertained the children very well, and all in all I felt there was something there for everybody.
It's something that I personally enjoy doing, is having a stall once in a while. It's very hard work, and but that day it really was a superb opportunity for all the people of the town and the district to join together and have a very happy, worthwhile time together.
I spend as much time as I can on my garden. It's a hobby. I've always enjoyed doing it. I grow a lot of the stuff myself. I've got a greenhouse. I grow most of it. And I've always been keen gardeners.
Having spent so many years in the railway works, I was rather saddened to see how much it had to contract. So the open day was one of mixed feelings for me. I fully understand the reasons why the changes had to be made, but that doesn't necessarily make it easier to accept. However, it was good to see so many people there, and I was amazed at the distance that so many people had travelled to visit this wonderful open day at Wolverton. They came from all ends of the country. And also it did bring in a lot of people that I have known in the past, and I'm sure that this was the experience of many other people who spent a day or 2 days in the works.
I must admit I did have reservations about even trying to make a lantern, and the first night I went down there and I could see some of the ones that were absolutely super. I thought I should never make one, but with help, and it took a lot longer to make one than what I thought, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and seeing the parents come with the children and the way the children enjoyed making their own lanterns and coming down each night and adding a bit more to them. I think it was a gradual build-up. You could began to imagine what it would look like, and everybody actually making their own and do it to their own design. And in the end, you didn't worry whether yours was good or not, as long as you'd got a lantern so that you could actually be part of it. Nobody seemed to mind, and it was nice to see the children actually making their own instead of somebody making them for them, just give it them, because I think it made the atmosphere all the much better on the day.
During the fortnight of the festival, I went in and out of the Madcap Centre several times. I didn't involve myself in the making of lanterns, but passing by, I did see on most occasions a few people with lots of bits of cane and other materials, and I wondered just what would be the result of this activity. Going in and out, it didn't seem very hopeful, if I can be honest with you. On that final Saturday evening, I joined in the procession in Wolverton to go to the park, and to my amazement and delight, the results of this activity that I had little faith in was incredible. I could hardly believe my eyes when I saw this constant stream of lanterns of all shapes and sizes that had come out of seemingly nothing. It was a superb occasion, and arriving at the park, having stopped all the traffic along Stratford Road, something that I hadn't seen happen in years, to see a similar procession coming from the canal from Bradwell was an even greater surprise. And the whole event, the whole evening, was a superb end to a superb fortnight.
It was just wonderful. It really was. I think everybody felt something very, very strong about our community.
We processed along Stratford Road, and the bishop at the front, tremendous, all waving our balloons and banners. And the service itself was beautiful, yes, the old and the new mixed in, old music, old people, young people, thoroughly enjoyable, really nice. And being in the works itself made it special, finished it off.
I thought it was a super thing, and it made me realise that Wolverton was that sort of place that had a great community spirit, and that people really cared about the place, because it to begin with, it seemed to get a little lost with Milton Keynes coming, but with a thing like that you realise that there were so many people that really cared what Wolverton did and what happens to Wolverton, and it was a really nice feeling to know that.
I don't know whether it will have any lasting effect. It was great while it lasted, and I wonder whether Wolverton will settle back into its lethargy or whether we will go forward from here. I hope we will.